So we are starting with our topic Smith chart. Okay, we are starting with our topic Smith chart. So whenever we talk about Smith chart, we talk about normalized impedance. We talk about normalized load impedance. So what is normalized load impedance? We talk about normalized load impedance. So normalized load impedance is nothing but we divide load impedance ZL divided by the characteristic impedance. Okay, and this is called as normalized load impedance. So the impedance of the load is divided by the characteristics impedance of the transmission line. So that is called as normalized load impedance. Now normally load impedance is denoted by ZL equal to A plus J beta for a complex load. For a complex load, the load impedance is defined by ZL equal to A plus J beta. So if you write this, ZL will be equal to A upon Z naught plus JB upon Z naught. Okay, A upon Z naught plus JB upon Z naught. So this is again, it can be written as ZL is equal to R plus JX. R plus Jx, where R is your resistive part of the load impedance and X is your reactive part of the load impedance. Okay, so this is how we write about the normalized load impedance. Okay, so we can say ZL is equal to R plus Jx. ZL equal to R plus Jx. Now, if we talk about reflection coefficient is given as capital ZL minus Z naught upon ZL plus Z naught. Okay, if I divide by Z naught on both numerator and denominator, I am dividing both numerator and denominator by Z naught. Okay, so what we get? We get ZL upon Z naught minus 1 upon ZL upon Z0 plus 1. So ZL upon Z0 is nothing but the normalized load impedance. ZL upon Z0 is nothing but normalized load impedance. So your reflection coefficient, this is what? This is gamma, it is reflection coefficient. So this is equal to normalized load impedance minus 1 upon normalized load impedance plus 1. Okay, this is equal to normalized load impedance minus 1 and upon normalized load impedance plus 1, and ZL is equal to R plus Jx. So I can write R plus Jx minus 1 upon R plus Jx plus 1. So this is your normalized load impedance. So this now this tau, this reflection coefficient tau will consist of a real part and an imaginary part. This consists of a real part and an imaginary part. So we can write this as this gamma is equal to gamma real plus gamma imaginary. It will have a real part as well and an imaginary part as well. So we can write it as gamma equal to gamma real plus gamma imaginary. So its magnitude, so it can also be written as mod of gamma, where mod of gamma is the magnitude and E j theta. Okay, so this can also be a representation of reflection coefficient, or we can write it as phi, Ej phi. Okay, so this is the mod of gamma is the magnitude of this reflection coefficient, and Ej phi is the phase part of this reflection coefficient. Okay, but what we want is we want this reflection coefficient in terms of the normalized load impedance. So if you write this ZL, so this ZL, it will be equal to 1 plus tau upon 1 minus tau. Okay, the normalized load impedance is given by this. So this will be equal to 1 plus tau real plus tau imaginary, okay, upon nj plus j tau imaginary upon 1 minus tau real minus j tau imaginary part. Okay, so this is how we can write this normalized load impedance, and this is equal to r plus jx. This is equal to r plus jx. So r plus jx is equal to 1 plus tau upon 1 minus tau, and that will be equal to 1 plus tau real plus j tau imaginary upon 1 minus tau real minus j tau imaginary. So what we have to do is we have to rationalize this part. So we have to rationalize this part. So if we rationalize this equation, then what we get is r plus jx. So if we rationalize it, then what we get is, if we rationalize it, then we get 1 minus tau real square plus tau imaginary square. Okay, so this is what we get when we rationalize this equation. Okay, so this is equal to r plus jx. Now we can find the value of r and x by equating the real part and the imaginary part. We can find the value of r and x by equating the real part and the imaginary part. So r will be equal to 1 minus tau real square और गामा रियल स्क्वायर माइनस गामा इमेजिनरी स्क्वायर अपॉन 1 माइनस गामा रियल स्क्वायर प्लस गामा इमेजिनरी स्क्वायर. This is the value of r. This is the value of r, and x is equal to 2 gamma imaginary upon 1 minus gamma real square plus gamma imaginary square. This is the value of x. So r and x, r is the resistive part of your normalized load impedance and x is your reactive part of the normalized load impedance. So if we rearrange this equation, if we rearrange this equation, then we get, so if we rearrange this equation of r, if we rearrange this equation for r, then we get tau real minus r upon r plus 1 whole square plus tau imaginary square equal to 1 upon r plus 1 square. Okay, so what this form is, these form constant resistance circles. These form constant resistance circles. Okay, this is an equation of a circle, so these form constant resistance circles. Okay, this is the equation of circle, this form constant resistance circle. So this will be, the center will be r upon r plus 1 comma 0, and radius will be 1 upon r plus 1. The radius will be 1 upon r plus 1. The center will be r upon r plus 1 comma 0, and radius will be 1 upon r plus 1. This is the center, this is the radius. These are the coordinates of the center of the circle. Okay, so these form constant resistance circle if we rearrange this equation. Now if we rearrange this equation for x, then we get tau real minus 1 whole square plus tau imaginary minus 1 upon x whole square equal to 1 by x square. So these form constant reactance circle. These form constant reactance circles whose center is 1 comma 1 by x and radius is 1 upon x. Okay, center is 1 comma 1 by x and radius is 1 upon x. So these are the constant reactance circles. So this is how we can uh, draw the Smith chart, constant resistance circles and constant reactance circles. Now we will learn how to draw constant resistance circles. So constant resistance circles are for center r upon r plus 1 comma 0 and their radius is 1 upon r plus 1. Okay, the center is r upon r plus 1 comma 0 and the radius is 1 upon r plus 1. So we can draw for various values of r. So r, center and radius. Okay, so we can draw for r equal to 0, we can draw for r equal to 0.5. Let's take some values 1 and infinite. Okay, so obviously the value of r cannot be negative. The value of r cannot be negative for Smith chart, because Smith chart is only realizable for passive load. Only passive loads can be realized using Smith chart. If r is negative, then it means active load. So for Smith chart only passive loads can be realized, so value of r has to be positive for the Smith chart. Okay, so for r is equal to 0, if we put r equal to 0, then center is 0 comma 0, center is 0 comma 0 and radius will be again 1, radius will be 1. So for r equal to 0, the center is 0 comma 0 and radius is 1. For r equal to 0.5, the center is 0.33 comma 0 and radius is 0.33. Sorry, radius will be 0.66. Okay, the center will be 0.33 comma 0, radius will be 0.66. For r equal to infinite, if we have r equal to infinite, then obviously center will be 1 comma 0 and radius will be 0. For r equal to 1, center will be 0.5 comma 0 and radius will be 0.5. Okay, so we have taken some examples. Now we will draw the constant resistance circles. So this is the circle for r equal to 0. This is the circle for r equal to 0. This is the circle for r equal to 0. So for r equal to 0, the center will be 0 comma 0. The center will be 0 comma 0. The radius will be 1. So obviously this point is 1 comma 0. This point is 1 comma 0. This point is 0 comma 1. Okay, this axis is tau imaginary. This axis is tau real. Okay, so these axes are tau imaginary and tau real. So this is our circle for r equal to 0. This is the circle for r equal to 1. This is the circle for r equal to 1. So as you can see, for r equal to 1, the center is 0.5 comma 0. So this is 0.5 comma 0 and radius is 0.5. Radius is 0.5. So this distance is 0.5 also and this distance is also 0.5. Okay, this distance is 0.5, this distance is, so the shape of this r equal to 1 will be like this. Okay, so this will also touch the 1 comma 0 point. This will also touch the 1 comma 0 point. Now if you draw for r equal to 0.5, for r equal to 0.5, the radius will be 0.33. The radius will be 0.33 comma 0 and sorry, the center will be 0.33 comma 0. If we want to draw the circle for r equal to 0.5, the center will be 0.33 comma 0. So center will lie somewhere here, 0.33 comma 0 and the radius will be 0.66. The radius will be 0.66. So it will also touch this point. Let this point be minus 0.33 comma 0. Okay, so this will be the circle for r equal to 0.5. So if we draw the circle for r equal to 0.5, it will be like this. Okay, so this is the circle for r equal to 0.5. Okay, so this point is 0.33 comma 0. This point is 0.33 comma 0, and it is also touching 1 comma 0 point because its radius is 0.66. So 1 comma 0 and minus 0.33 comma 0. So we have drawn three circles for r equal to infinity. Now if you see, for r equal to infinity, the center will be 1 comma 0 and radius will be 0. So for r equal to infinity, the circle will be a point 1 comma 0. For r equal to infinity, there will be no circle, only a point at 1 comma 0. So this is for r equal to infinite. So what you can observe from the constant resistance circles, what you can observe, see, as we are, this is the r equal to 0 circle. Okay, so all the circles are contained inside this unit circle. This is a unit circle, this is a unit circle, this is a unit circle with center 0 comma 0 and radius 1. This is a unit circle with center 0 comma 0 and radius 1, and all the constant resistance circles are contained inside this unit circle. Okay, and as we are increasing the value of r, their radius is getting reduced, and at r equal to infinity will be a point only with center 1 comma 0. Okay, so uh, if we draw a tangent to these circles, then a tangent to these circles will be a straight line whose which can be written like tau real equal to 1. The tangent to these constant resistance circles will be a straight line tau real equal to 1. Okay, this will be a straight line. So, and you can see, for r equal to 1, when r is equal to 1, then now all these circles will lie in the first quadrant and the fourth quadrant. For r equal to 1 to infinity, for 1 is less than r is less than infinity, all the circles are lying in the first quadrant and the fourth quadrant only. No circle will lie in the second quadrant or the third quadrant. Okay, the circles in the second and third quadrant lie only for r equal to 0 and r equal to 1, between r equal to 0 and r equal to 1. But from r equal to 1 to infinity, all the circles will lie only the first and the fourth quadrant. Okay, all the circles are passing through the point 1 comma 0. All the circles are passing through the points 1 comma 0, and as the value of r is increasing, the center is shifting. Okay, as the value of r is increasing, the center shifts towards right. As the value of r is increasing, the center is shifting towards the right. For r equal to 0, this was the center, then for r equal to 0.5, this was the center, then for r equal to 1, this was the center, then for r equal to infinite, this was the center. So as we are increasing the value of r, the center is shifting towards the right hand side. Okay, so these are the constant resistance circles. Now we will draw the constant reactance circles. So for the constant reactance circle, the center is 1 comma 1 by x and radius is 1 by x. So for x equal to 0, the center will be 1 comma infinite and radius will be infinite. For x equal to 0, the center will be 1 comma infinite and radius will be infinite. For x equal to 1, the center will be 1 comma 1 and radius will be 1. Okay, then for x equal to minus 1, the center will be 1 comma minus 1 and radius will be 1. Then for x equal to infinite, if we have x equal to infinite, then center will be 1 comma 0 and radius will be 0. For x equal to infinite, the center will be 1 comma 0 and radius will be 0. For x equal to 2, for x equal to 2, the center will be 1 comma 0.5 and radius will be 0.5. For x equal to 2, the center will be 1 comma 0.5 and radius will be 0.5. For x equal to 0.5, center will be 1 comma 2 and radius will be 2. The radius will be 2. Okay, so these are the constant reactance circle. Now we will draw the constant reactance circle. Okay, so this is the constant reactance circle for x equal to 1. This is the constant reactance circle for x equal to 1. So its center is 1 comma 1. So let this be 1 comma 1. So this point is obviously 1 comma 0 and this point is 0 comma 1. Okay, so its center is 1 comma 1 and radius 1. So this is the circle for x equal to 1. This is the circle for x equal to 1. Now we will draw the circle for x equal to minus 1. So this is the circle for x equal to minus 1. For x equal to minus 1, the center will be 1 comma minus 1. So this is the center and radius will be 1. So this point is 0 comma minus 1. So this is the circle for x equal to minus 1. Now this is the circle for x equal to 2. This is the circle for x equal to 2. The circle for x equal to 2, the center is 1 comma 0.5. So this is 1 comma 0.5 and its radius is 0.5. So again it will pass through point 1 comma 0 and 1 comma 1. So this is the circle for x equal to minus 2. This is the circle for x equal to minus 2. Okay. Now for x equal to 0.5, if we see for x equal to 0.5, its center is 1 comma 2. Its center is 1 comma 2. So its center will lie somewhere here. Okay, and for x equal to 0.5, the circle will be like this, which I have drawn by a dotted line. Okay, the x equal to 0.5, the circle will be like this, which I have drawn with a dotted line, with center at 1 comma 2 and radius 2. Okay, so this will be the circle for x equal to 0.5, and for x equal to minus 0.5, the circle will be like this. So this is the circle for x equal to minus 0.5, and this is the circle for x equal to 0.5. Okay, this is the circle for x equal to 0.5. Now if I have to draw the unit circle which we drawn for the constant resistance circles, if I have to superimpose the unit circles on the which we drawn in the constant resistance circle, then that unit circle will look like this. That unit circle will look like this. Okay, so this is the constant resistance unit circle for r equal to 0. This is the constant resistance unit circle for r equal to 0. So that will look like this. That unit circle will look like this. Okay, so now we only have to when we are solving the questions on the Smith chart, then we only have to look at this area. We do not have to look at this area, because the value of r cannot be less than 0 and the value of r cannot be greater than infinity. Okay, so in all the circles, all the unit resistance circles which can be realized by all the load impedances that can be realized by Smith chart will lie inside this unit constant resistance circles. So we only have to consider this part of the Smith chart for our data or for our solving our questions. Okay, because Smith chart can realize only passive loads. So for passive loads the value of R will be between 0 and infinity. So only this part is useful for us. Okay, only this part is useful for us, the part inside this unit circle. Okay, so this is the constant reactance circles and unit circle of constant resistance is superimposed on the constant reactance circles. Now if you see here, these circles are for positive values of x. These circles which are lying in the first quadrant, these are the for positive values of x. These circles which lie in this quadrant or this quadrant, first quadrant or the second quadrant, these are for the positive values of x. So what these denote is, these denote inductance, because for these circles the value of x is for for these circles the value of x is positive. So these these denote inductance or inductive load. And for these circles which lie in this quadrant or this quadrant, for these circles the value of x is negative. So what these circles indicate is capacitive load. These circles indicate capacitive load. These circles are indicating capacitive load. Also, if you see for x equal to infinity, the center will be 1 comma 0 and radius will be infinity. For x equal to infinity, the center will be 1 comma 0 and radius will be infinity. So the for x equal to infinity, the circle will be a straight line, this x axis. So this x axis is the circle for x equal to infinity. This x axis is the circle for x equal to infinity, because for x equal to infinity the center is 1 comma 0 and radius is infinite. So this x axis is the circle for x equal to infinity. Okay, so as the value of x is increasing, you can see the radius is getting bigger. Okay, so for x equal to 0 also, sorry, for x equal to infinity, for x equal to infinity the radius is 0. For x equal to infinity the radius is 0 and center is 1 comma 0. So this is the constant reactance circle for x equal to infinity. So for x equal to infinity the constant reactance circle is a point. This is only a point for x equal to infinity. And for x equal to 0, the center is 1 comma infinite and radius is infinite. So for x equal to 0, the constant reactance circle is your x axis. And for x equal to infinite, it is only a point. Okay, for x equal to 0, your constant reactance circle is your complete x axis, and for x equal to infinite your constant reactance circle is this point 1 comma 0. So this denotes constant reactance circle for x equal to infinite. Okay, so as you can see, as the value of x is increasing, the value of radius of the constant reactance circle is decreasing. Okay, so we will continue the properties of the Smith chart in the next video. Okay, so in the next part 2 of this video we will continue the Smith chart. Thank you. Please like and share the video and subscribe the channel, and best of luck.